Camilla Yanushevsky is joining us, equity research analyst at CFRA Research, to discuss all things Black Friday. It's wonderful to see you, Camilla. Good morning. I think it's an exciting time. I know that we have a few numbers for growth and what we're expecting to see, but I know it's a very different Black Friday as well, with a shortened trade.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me. And when we look at Black Friday, we really think that it's losing relevance with consumers. And that really comes down to two things. One, late Thanksgiving. Retailers like Walmart began their promotions all the way in October. It's very spread out. The lines are blurring. And then second, Amazon Prime Day. Record showing this year. It became known as the Black Friday of July, and it's really stolen Black Friday's thunder of this year.
You know, I think that's really interesting. First of all, I don't know anybody who's buying some real presents in the summer, right? But you're making the point that people are out there, they're shopping. You know, with the 6 fewer days, some of the phrases that I've heard is there's going to be less self-gifting, fewer impulse purchases. I mean, it really could affect the retailers, no doubt.
Yeah, well, 39% of consumers estimated began their shopping in October or earlier. We looked at the relationship between retail sales growth during the holiday shopping period and also days between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we saw no correlation. We think that retailers are starting their promotions early and people are shopping earlier.
You know, I heard somebody say today that if you're not Amazon, Target, or Walmart, you're probably losing market share this holiday. What do you think?
Yeah, well, Walmart and Target and Amazon are great names to call out. We actually forecasted our holiday shopping winners and losers for this holiday season. And what we did is we looked at digital momentum, the 3 months leading up to November 1st, comparing that momentum digitally to the prior 3-month period. And some of the winners that we called out were Canada Goose, Deckers, which produces the UGG brand, and then also VF Core, the North Face brand. What we saw is increasing consumer interest for winter brands, and we think that winter apparel and footwear will be winners this holiday season.
That is fantastic. I love that you've done that, because those brands are ever popular. And I know the younger folks, the millennials, they love Canada Goose, right? Which is obviously publicly traded. They love UGGs, which is Deckers, and also North Face, VFC being the parent. So that actually is outstanding. And the digital momentum is so telling. I mean, we actually saw that with American Eagle, for example, on the downside. And some of these mall-based retailers, they're not seeing the engagement on social media, at fewer likes, the trends are lower. And are you seeing that disconnect, that some of the mall-based retailers are the losers of the holiday season?
In terms of the losers, I'd like to call out department stores. We think that this holiday season is a make or break season for department stores. And one of the things that we actually noticed looking at digital traffic last holiday season is that the biggest gains in traffic were actually to the apparel and footwear manufacturers. Consumers increasingly want to connect directly with brands, while the department stores saw declines across the board. And they're kind of stuck as the middlemen. If people want to connect directly with brands, they're going to go straight to VF Core, they're going to go straight to UGGs. And it's a general shift that we're seeing all in all in the retail space.
Yeah, you make a good point. No doubt the department stores have been struggling, and it's just not the same as it used to be. What are some of the comparisons with the numbers that we're seeing? I mean, I saw CFRA has retail sales growth of estimated to be 4.3% to over $1 trillion. National Retail Federation, Camilla, is slightly below your numbers, saying 3.8 to 4.2% growth. But the point is that the trend is to see growth and maybe even cross that $1 trillion mark. Is that impressive? What do you think of these numbers?
Yeah, we forecasted 4.3%. That's compared to 2.7% growth last year. We think that the growth is attributed to easier year-over-year comparisons and not a stronger consumer. We've already seen consumer confidence receding, especially the past 4 months where we've seen sequential declines. And also tax cut enthusiasm abating. That was a tailwind for last holiday season. And in general, a slowing economy. We think that's definitely going to benefit the general merchandisers. To call out names like Target, like Walmart, like Dollar General, TJX, Ross, the value retailers, as people generate more of their disposable income and shift that into savings, it's definitely going to be a boon for those retailers in particular.
I see. Well, that doesn't make me feel so great when you're talking about your in-depth research and really finding the truth and saying, in truth, you feel that the consumer is slipping a little, the economy is slipping a little. Another element in your notes was all about gift cards. I mean, people sometimes don't know what to get. Gift cards are very popular, but there are some warning signs that come with gift cards as well. The popularity is still there for that, right?
The popularity is still there. It's hard to know what you're going to shop for someone. Sometimes you end up buying them clothes, but they don't like the clothes that you got them, or they'll pretend to like them. So gift cards has always been the easy route.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, you could have stores that file for bankruptcy, right? Toys R Us, Forever 21, just to name a few. And those gift cards end up being useless. So never hold on to those. I mean, people should run out and use those. And sometimes they lose value over time. They don't, each month or each year or something like that. The big picture on the shopper versus the online shopper, what's the breakdown? E-commerce obviously on the rise.
Yeah. So for this holiday season, we're expecting to see less foot traffic, more digital traffic, and less dollar share, specifically with this Black Friday weekend. But all in all, more online. Companies have been really upping their fulfillment facilities, and they've also been really marketing their buy online, pickup in store. So we think it's going to be a record year for buy online, pickup in store. In terms of e-commerce, like you mentioned, the fastest growing retail category since 2007, and we just see that momentum picking up. Convenience is a huge factor in consumer purchasing decisions.
Sure, and buy online, pick it up on the store. That's fantastic. I love that because you just don't have to spend your time in a very busy, sometimes obviously uncomfortable store situation. The last thought I had is just a little more big picture for the holidays. And I know you don't necessarily cover everything from Nautilus to Planet Fitness, but like the fitness places, the restaurants, fast food restaurants, those are often in the malls as well, and the stores. The big picture, any wider thought on that?
Yeah, well, one of the things that's talked a lot about is if we have a restaurant in a mall, is that going to lead to actual traffic to other retailers? And we don't think so. A good example is Kohl's. We have a sell rating on Kohl's, and part of our thesis on that is we don't think that the returns program is going to give that conversion to the actual shopping at Kohl's. And it's very similar with these fitness concepts in malls, with these restaurant concepts. We like to think of micro-visit trends. So for example, this company In Market Data looked at shopping trends with Amazon lockers at Whole Foods, and people were going to the locker and staying less than 5 minutes. And those general micro-visit trends we're seeing all in all in the retail space.
Right. Good point. I mean, people love to go to some of these places in the malls, but doesn't necessarily mean more shopping for those particular stores. All right, Camilla, it's great to see you. Camilla Yanushevsky, Equity Research Analyst at CFRA Research, with a fantastic breakdown of all things shopping this Black Friday.